of casting, but obviously temper your expectations.
I'm sure we'll do great.
Alright, well, spawning in the top spawn, the 12 o'clock position, the blue Terran representing Echo slash all inspiration, we do have Mr. Lando here.
Yeah, Mr. Lando pairing his workers really nicely. And in the bottom, for Team Outset Gaming, I said before, the ace of Outset Gaming, we have Chimera. So yeah, this I think Vani Research Station is definitely a great map for Zerg. Um, Easily defendable third and fourth, great amount of space, and it's really narrow, so creep spreading goes double a long way. Like there's a lot of maps that are kind of more wide and narrow, more square-like, and for creep spreading is a lot more difficult on maps like that because they have to go in numerous directions. But on Binding, there's only one direction to go, and that's up, which is really nice for the Zerg. I think it makes it a little easier. Also, there's a lot of dead spots on this map for overlords, for creep spread to be, and you can get really good map vision to know exactly what's coming. So I think that if Chimera was going to take a game off Lando, it's going to be on this map.
Interestingly enough, this was Lando's map pick, so maybe he feels very comfortable on this map. Not so familiar with Lando's style, but this map is a little bit infamous for some mech play. So
Oh, for sure.
it's pretty safe for mech, and we might I don't know how favored it is at these players' levels, but sometimes at the lower Chobo levels, Mech VZ is a little bit favored on this map. So maybe Mr. Lando ascribing to that theory, and we're going to see some mech come out of him. I don't know.
No, I think undoubtedly if Mr. Lando chose this map, Mech is going to. And I kind of forgot about the current meta. In the current meta, TV Terran is kind of slightly, I think, in favor. Maybe a little more than slightly in the Mech versus Zerg.
Yeah.
And there's definitely there's like these two choke points right here, and here and here, and they're super important. And easy to hold for a mech player, and it just allows you to get 3 bases, and allows you to do a lot of things. But there's a lot of open space when they move from those chokes, and that's really where the engagements want to be. If Terran moves out of this open place, this is exactly where Zerg wants to engage and surround and take out the mech army. Yeah. Sorry, go
Already
ahead.
seeing some significant things happening here. Zerg player opting for the more offensive expand position, and this is going to put him in a more vulnerable position to Reaper, harass, things like this, and he basically will have to hold the early aggression in a slightly less favorable position so that he can have a more favored... Oh, almost gets a drone here. So he can have a more favored second expansion. So already some significant choices coming out of our Zerg player here.
Nice save on that drone. That was nice.
Yeah, barely on the drone.
We have the Terran player going for 2 Reapers. He's probably going to throw down a reactor after the second Reaper. Just wants to keep on pressure. Maybe oh no, this is the 3rd Reaper coming out, so he definitely wants to get pressure, try to take out a Queen, get their health down. As this 3rd Reaper comes out, the pressure on the Queen's going to increase dramatically, because 3 Reapers can take a Queen one-on-one, which is really nice, if they're full health. I like the Zerg taking the outward expansion. The inward one is basically safe until drops happen, so why not, right?
We are going to see our Terran player go for the 3rd CC off the back of this early Reaper pressure, so definitely going to keep the Zerg player on his toes, get himself in a good economic position. Actually taking a Queen, that's kind of significant, I think.
Wow, yeah.
Taking a drone as well. Yeah, this is going to put the Zerg player definitely on the back foot. He's going to have his 3rd CC on the back of this. Our Terran player positioning himself very well heading into the mid game here.
Once he gets 2 Queens out, he's going to be able to push these Reapers back a lot easier. So yeah, finally I think it is secure until these Hellions come. Now this build is very macro-oriented coming out of Lando. He wants to get a couple Hellions out and just have them on the outskirts.
Speedlings with a good wraparound here. And he is going to get those
Reaper.
2 Reapers. That's, that's kind of a tit for a tat situation. And as I'm sure you're very aware those Reapers are worth their weight in gold, because you need those for the later Hellion pressure, and to lose those now is just going to be a blow to that pressure that the Terran player needs to be putting on the Zerg player later.
Yeah, for sure. It just definitely means that he's going to be more creep spreading instead of going on creep and engaging. Because without those two Reapers, he really doesn't have the fighting power, like you said. We do have a Banshee coming up here, though, too. Interestingly enough, the Zerg is not taking a third, and I feel like he should by then.
No, and we're seeing some heavy Queen production. If I was a betting man, and this Zerg player subscribed to the Koali theory of Zerg play, a 2 base with no third at 750 with no perceivable tech behind it, he might be gearing up for some kind of Queen Roach Nidus situation. I can't explain what we're seeing, and that's obviously what my mind goes to first, but we are going to see the Terran player start his aggression here.
Yep, and the third goes down at 820. Yeah, I think maybe he was expecting it, maybe a hellbent timing per se. I'm not sure.
Yeah, definitely. He wanted to feel safe, and I guess losing that queen early and having some lings go down and the drone made him feel unsafe. So
now without a forward spore, this is going to be really difficult for the Zerg to hold the Banshee that's coming out of here. It's just going to be really annoying, especially if it has cloak, which it will in about 10 seconds. Yeah. This is in trouble for the Zerg. It's definitely not good.
yeah, oh, absolutely. Positioning these Hellions very well so that there's no surrounds.
He's got a lot of queens. He's gonna have to have really good injects, but with this Clip Banshee providing the damage that it does, it's just too much damage is happening right now. He's gonna clear up all the health
transfuses though, so this could have done a lot worse. Yeah, and the Zergs are gonna be made, and the Banshee's gonna get picked off by this spore, I think.
Ooh, that's... Oh no, it survives. If it was picked off, it would have been big, but with it surviving, it's just going to continue to harass drones.
Mm-hmm.
Two Hellbats still going to town. Yeah, this is unfortunate.
This is some heavy economic damage, forcing a lot of lings instead of drones, and this third still for a Zerg player is not remotely close to saturated. He doesn't even have his natural saturated at this point. Some heavy losses. Banshee does get picked off, so that's a decent situation, but it's just really uphill for a Zerg player here at this point.
Yep.
It does look like Bio is going to be the choice for the Terran player here. So he's getting his third landed, getting his Sim City going.
This Banshee's going to go up, almost down. Saves it. 5 health. Yeah, Terran's just powering up now. With that damage done, he's going to be able to have a really strong 2-base timing. As soon as 2-2 hits, he's going to go across the map and kill the Zerg.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll see as well. Income at this point, incredibly favoring our Terran player. 2k income to 800 for the Zerg. Not where the Zerg sees himself. Not throwing the towel in yet. Chimera is dropping the Spire, so he is going to leverage the mortgage on the back of some Muta play here.
Yeah, he's banking 700 gas, maybe?
Yeah.
By the time that Spire finishes, he'll have about 8 or 9 Mutas. Mutas are good, but I don't know if they're that good. Once you're this far behind, it's just really difficult for the Zerg player.
Absolutely.
Man. I remember when the Hellion Hellbat buff, not buff, but like the ability for Hellions to turn to Hellbats with the army came out. And this is exactly, this type of play is what I imagined. Like a lot of just continuous Hellbat aggression. But like, I don't see it very often anymore. I just see Hellbat timings at the beginning of the game and then the Terran kind of transition out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But what Lando's doing, he's just like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to keep the reactor in the factory. Why not? I mean, it just seems like Hellbats are strong against Lingbane, so if you're not going to go Roaches, why not?
And the Bane Nest is going to be finishing here shortly. That's going to give him some defensive option against these Hellbats. So Bio is streaming across the map to reinforce this position, some Widow Mines, and I think when that gets here, if he chooses to go on the aggressive, the Zerg player is just going to be forced to make even more decisions that put him behind economically, because the Zerg player just wants to make drones at this point, but the
Yeah.
Terran player is not letting him.
This is actually kind of unique from Lando. A lot of players will transition out of the Hellbat. This is a mixture of mech and bio, with the Hellbat Marine composition. And what basically Lando said was, I'm ahead, and I can have a really fast attack if I don't transition. So why transition? Just continue making what I'm already making. And that's Hellbat and Marines, and go and hit at 13 minutes. I mean, if you look at supply difference, it's 75 to 160. So I think Lando did a really good job to be like, you know what, you're weak. You're going to be droning, and I can have this this timing with just Hellbat Marine.
Yeah.
2-2 is not even halfway done, so he didn't wait for 2-2, which was interesting.
Some decent Bane connections here, but at this point, it's just incredibly uphill for the Zerg player. That early pressure, yeah, it just set him behind significantly. So we are going to head into the next map pick. So it's going to be the Zerg player's pick at this point. So we're going to see what he decides to pick to counter Lando here.
Yeah, this will be interesting. Seeing that type of play out of Lando, I think, tells a lot. I think Chimera was a little worried about Cheese, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he expected macro play, so I think with that in mind, that hey, Mr. Lando is going to play macro oriented, we'll see a little more laid back approach from Chimera.
Yeah, or it's possible that the meta games will be real, and he'll foresee that and
Yeah.
react accordingly. I think that there was some, I don't know if nerves are at play here, and obviously they probably are, but there was just some suboptimal Reaper defense, picking off that queen, forcing out more lings. Everything incrementally snowballed into the situation where the Zerg player did not have the Banes he needed to deal with those Hellbats, and it just deteriorated from there.
Welcome to the Chobo Starling if you're just joining us now. We are a 1v1 tournament for the Chobo Team League. For any newcomers that are in the stream, check us out at www.choboteamleague.com. I think that link works now. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You might have to enter it into Google.
Yeah, and the CSL is basically a individual tournament that is loosely affiliated with the CTL. So you'll have to follow a couple links to get from the CTL to the CSL. So
Iron
yeah.
Fortress. Ooh.
Iron Fortress, interesting choice, I think.
I think the third's kind of tough. Like I talked to a lot of Zergs, and I was surprised to find that a lot of them didn't like this map. Because I initially thought it would be a good Zerg map, but it's kind of punishing if a Terran gets a vertical or horizontal position. It's actually closer than you'd imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think Cobalt playing on this map in general?
You know, I think it has the potential to be a decent Zerg map, and I think that it has some good positions where the Zerg player can fight in the open, but I think for every good position there are just as many bad positions.
Yeah, there's a lot of chokes.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
and a good Terran player will force you into bad situations, so I don't know. It really depends on who is driving the car, I think. So
Yeah.
we'll see who drives the car in this game, because Lando was definitely driving the car in the last game.
Mm. Yeah, this is a map that I veto, but I'm actually thinking about unvetoing it. There's so many places you could just put Widow Mines at, like, places and just get bank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright, go.
Alright, heading into the next game here. Again, Mr. Lando representing All Inspiration, and Chimera representing Outset Gaming. Two perennial contenders in the CTL. Obviously fielding some of the better players, since they've had the time to build up the organization and infrastructure to support players of this caliber. So we should see another good game. Definitely
Yeah,
textbook last game. Terran
I was
aggression.
I was talking to Koala yesterday, and we were both kind of surprised. We looked at every team's lineup. Almost every team has at least one master player on their roster, which is really neat. It's definitely a change from before when almost nobody had master players, like 4 seasons ago, you know.
Yeah,
And
definitely opening up the population has impacted the teams here.
yeah. No, I mean they did move masters from 2% to about, or 1.8%, I should say, to about 3%. But still, that's really impressive. Some teams with as many as 8 or 10 or 12 master players. It's really cool. It's a good thing for the CTL.
Yeah, definitely. Spawning in the bottom right position, our blue Terran player representing again All Inspiration, coming off the heels of a victory, pretty convincing victory. It is going to be All Inspiration's Mr. Lendo.
And in the bottom left hand corner in the orange trunks, representing Outset Gaming, we have Chimera. Now, we do have the horizontal positions, and like I said, these are actually way closer than one would imagine. Diagonal, a lot longer. The airspace, in general, is just a straight across, which is nice for the Terran with drops. And also that
Absolutely.
the third is kind of in the middle of nowhere, like both thirds. You don't want to take the third that's basically in the like neighbor spot of the Terran, and the third above it, if you attack there and then drop in the main or natural, it's just really difficult for the Zerg to get to both places because it's
Yeah.
so spread out.
Absolutely. So multi-pronged aggression, again, something that we might be seeing coming out of Mr. Lando here. Zerg player going for a fairly standard opener here.
15
player.
hatch, yep. And we got a 12-12 Reaper coming out of the Terran, just like last game.
So
I expect Lando to do the same exact build: 3 Reapers into Factory and a third CC. It's a great build. I was just practicing it the other day, actually.
yeah, it's incredibly solid. Provides macro off the back of early aggression, just pretty standard. If our Zerg player is not super careful with this Overlord, however, he is gonna reveal his spawning location here, and
Yeah, we even had the SCV go to the left from Lando, I think, to
Yeah.
check out if that Overlord was there. That's really cool by Lando. Really
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah, I was thinking it should be here by now.
Yeah.
Reaper is gonna take a wrong turn at Albuquerque and end up in the wrong base. However, let's look at our Terran player's vision here. See if he's gonna spot this Overlord.
Oh, no, I don't think so, man.
Nope.
I think Chimera saw the factory, right? Let's see.
Yep, he did.
Yeah.
Okay, so Terran player not aware of the spawn is gonna unfortunately scout everywhere but the correct spot. Our Zerg player already aware of the factory, of the spawns, so a little bit more more advantageous in terms of the scouting metagame here for this Zerg.
Yeah, knowledge is power. Good thing leaving his Reaper at home, just in case a few early lings would come to deny the factory. He's going out with his other Reaper to harass, and we've got 4 lings and a Queen set up all ready to do some damage.
All right, he needs
Nice
to,
positioning from Chimera.
Yeah, I'd have liked this Queen to. All right, a pause coming out of Lando. Maybe his mother is again vacuuming in the room he's playing in. Bit of a delay between games due to that, but we're rolling with the punches here. That's just how we do things.
It's funny. So Reaper in Terran Zerg base. He's sending both Reapers now across the map when they pop. So
Let's use this moment to take a look at Zerg player's vision. Still only having scouted the factory, is very close to scouting to see the gas, and pauses are gonna be taken off here. Alright, so let's see what he can get done with this Reaper, see if it'll be as effective as the last one. Oh, this
I
Reaper
think it's
is
gonna
gonna
get
get
caught,
picked
yeah.
off, yeah. A little bit of a sloppy positioning there. I don't know how attributable that is to the pause, as he was the one who controlled it, but definitely not the same level of Reaper control as last game. Forcing this next Reaper back as well, so
Yep.
Zerg player going to be very comfortable here, going to be able to get a much better saturation, speed
We have
finishing up here shortly.
we have a slight variation from our Terran player of the build. He's going to actually be doing an earlier Hellbat timing with Banshee. So not delaying his third CC, not getting it, and it looks like he's going to be doing Hellion Banshee. And I think what Mr. Lando saw was that there was no forward spore, so he's like, why not just do this pressure earlier than it hit before? Like, it worked last time, why wouldn't it work this time? No armory going down, which means that this is going to be just straight Hellion Banshee. And this third CC should be coming down soon.
This OV is going to be under fire here from this Marine, so we're gonna watch this OV very closely.
Will he make it?
Will
I think
he
he's
make
gonna make it.
I think
by
he
the
will
skin of his
too.
teeth.
The skin. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
OV. Very strong work. Alright, these queens are lined up to intercept. Lings are going to get roasted here. Very unfortunate.
Lings do have speed early, which is nice. That's
Yeah.
gonna help a little bit, but
All the
I wish
faster to walk into their death there.
Yeah. He's got good creep spread. That's also gonna help.
Great creep spread. Definitely. And he
No third going down.
he is using his third Zerg eye here to predict this aggression. Not going for the third just yet. Just wants to feel a little bit more safe.
He's gonna get a Hellion. Nice zoning. Some like free damage. But with this cloaked Banshee out, this is gonna be really difficult for the Zerg player. Nothing that shoots up though. Like if Mutas would go down now, he could do a kind of nice 2-base Muta timing. But he is investing a lot in 1-1 for Zergling.
So he is gonna scoot around, try to deny a third if present. So, and for every minute he denies this Zerg third, he is gonna be doing theoretical economic damage. So
We do have spores in all the right places, except not one in the natural. I wish there was a forward spore with this queens though, like right here. It would make defending this way easier.
agreed. And he is aware of the Banshee, so
Yeah.
he is gonna move this spore backward toward the mineral line. Does see this Banshee coming in. Upgrading pneumatized Carapace wants the Overseers to move a little bit more quickly, deny these Banshees.
Now, I feel like the Terran player is just like, well, I'm in a great position. You knock on your third.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and he's getting some free drone kills here. And the pressure is forcing some tech out of the Zerg. So, again, every third is just now going down, so...
Yep.
In theory, economic damage has been done.
Mr. Lando feeling really safe, getting turrets up. Just in case that 2-base Muto that I was talking about is coming. It doesn't look like it is coming, but just smart play from the Terran to do that preemptively. Third base is not lifted. Up, and it lifts, and he's going to take it. It's really important to get this third base set up as a Terran player, especially on this map because it's so far away. It takes so long to fly over there. Also, you want to get defenses set up. Like, I even would build bunkers because if it's hard for a Zerg, it's also hard for a Terran. The only difference is that Terran has medevacs, so getting around is way easier, I think.
Yeah. So, for all the good of the economic pressure, our Terran player here is gonna lose this Banshee. He's not scouted for a good minute here, so let's take a look at his vision. Yeah, not aware there's a Spire in play, so he's gonna maybe not be aware of these mutas coming.
How much gas? Not a lot of gas. Oh. 3 mutas. How many mutas is it going to have? Is there any on the map right now?
There's I think at least 4.
Okay. I think these are just to clean up medevacs after... Oh no, he's going... Is he going to go to harass? There just doesn't seem to be enough.
No.
Like, I feel like he wants to crush this army and then have just enough mutas to clean up the medevacs.
Alright, we are going to see Hellbats being transformed.
How about
So
Marine once again? The
it's
thing is,
incredibly strong.
Banelings, like, if they can get a few decent hits, they do well against Marines and Hellbats. It's just really hard against a player that splits as well as Lando. Super hard.
Definitely.
But personally, I think this is a strange choice. I think mines are better than Hellbats in this composition. I would rather see Marine Marauder mine than Marine Hellbat. It's fun though. It's cool.
Uh, I think Hellbats are a little bit more consistent than mines, so I could see why. We are going to see some drone kills off the back of some aggression in the third, so keeping the pressure on the Zerg, forcing out spores, denying droning. A fourth is nowhere on the horizon, and I'm sure we don't have to remind people that 3 base against 3 base as a Zerg against pretty well any race is not the position you want to be in.
Yeah, I mean, you look at worker supply. I think the whole game he's had a worker supply just from little harasses, having an earlier third, and then put on top of that the ability to have mules. The Terran's just gonna have, or the Zerg's just gonna have a bad time. The Terran's just gonna have way more. I mean, if you look at supply, it's apparent. 50 more supply for the Terran.
Absolutely. Mutas are going to be moving in to do some harass. There is a decent line of turrets at the bases, so I think these are going to be very quickly rebuffed. Does get a Widow Mine, does get one Widow Mine, so not entirely not worth his money there. Terran player using his Terran Third Eye to deny this fourth of the Zerg. Zerg units completely out of position to deny this. We're probably going to see a cancel here come out of our Zerg player.
I mean, it's just so hard. You really, even if he was in position, he couldn't take the army off creep. And it's
Yeah.
impossible to get creep there. Like, it's really difficult.
Probably going to see him burrow some Widow Mines to deny this, and that is the case, so. More creep deny. We're probably
Yeah,
going to see the Zerg player engage here shortly. This is starting to get close to his production
Yep.
structures here.
a few queens going down. This is really important, the cream spread. Even if the Zerg deals with this, because he denied that creep, I mean, getting that fourth is just going to be even harder and harder and harder.
Strong engage here from the Zerg player. Picking up a lot of those units.
Yeah, but as you can see, the supply getting even quicker. If we look at upgrades, it's 2-2 versus 2-2. Oh no, 2-2 versus 1-1, and that was the big difference in that fight. Zerg player having better upgrades. 2-2 is going to be done for the Terran player in like 10 seconds, so that was kind of an anti-timing for the Terran player. I think if he just would have waited a little bit, the game would be over.
Yeah. Drilling claws being produced, so I think Lando taking a page here from our caster and deciding, you know what, Widow Mines aren't that bad. I'm going to use those. Getting a pretty healthy Mutaflog here. This is definitely not something that you want to allow as a Terran
Oh
player.
yeah, nice. I love seeing Muta play, like sniping medevacs, sniping mines, like where it's just so many that it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Income right now, again, favoring our Terran player because Terran 3 base, not the same thing as Zerg 3 base, so.
Fourth base going down for Terran, almost finished, which is really nice. Good back, just good play from the Terran player. Zerg player, I think, is gonna try to take this fourth.
Alright, we do see some Muta harass here at the Terran natural, being slightly rebuffed as the Terran player decides, you know what, I can hold you with what I have, and he's pressing on to creep here.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I think he's just gonna try to bait into mines. It's so hard to control mutas and your main army, which is kind of what Chimera's doing. Although it's gonna be a flank with these mutas, which is cool. Oh god.
Not up, losing one Muta, but he did get a hit on, I believe he killed a mine, so not exactly an even trade, but you know what, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Our Zerg player here, kind of a little lax on the production. Didn't really have anything while he was microing his units here.
Yeah, if you see, I think his queens have full health, full energy, which tells me kind of he's been missing a few injects.
Yeah, he definitely the APM exhaustive nature of Lingbane Muta does kind of set you back sometimes if you don't have the APM for it necessarily. And we are seeing him catching up on some of the things he needs to do. Infestation pit dropping. Alright, big engage
these
here.
mines. He needs to. I loved how he pulled back his Ling Bane so that the mine hits would only kill a few of the Banes. That was actually really nice. Keeping the Banes back to take those mine hits and then going in is going to make a world of difference.
Yeah, our Zerg player here is just running roughshod over our Terran player, forcing him way back. He needs to do something off the back of this. I'd like to see some more Muta aggression at that natural, denying the Terran his expansion. Let's see if the Zerg player is even aware. No, he's not aware of this Terran expansion here. And that's definitely not good for him. He needs to be aware of that.
With each Terran attack, the Terran's just going to get stronger and stronger, and the Zerg's going to get weaker and weaker, mainly because of the economy. If you look at the main of the Zerg, it's almost mined out, and the Terran player is powering up with 3-3 just finished. And 3-3, of course, versus 2-2 Zerg is just it's bad things.
Oh, this big Mutaflock. Lando kind of going a little crazy on the stem. He needs to be aware of these glaive bounces.
Oh yeah, look at that.
There's just so much. He does drop this Zerg fourth, so at the same time doing some damage here.
Ooh, this is a nice pickup.
The Muta is just fighting all these turrets. Mutas are incredibly expensive. He needs to not
Chimera
lose
knows he needs to do damage here. And having your Bane slowly behind, gonna get it done. Especially against 3-3 Terran. I think that's
being
GG.
stimmed to death. Alright, Lings do come in. They're going to be able to do a little bit more damage. Tank some more shots for the Mutas. Supply, however, as you said, is starting to favor our Terran player pretty handily. The Mutas cannot 1v1 Marines at this point in the game. It's just not feasible. And the GG does get called.